hopefully that gives you a very much whistle-stop tour of a year in the life of the team, because that's how long those different processes took to do.
Supplementary to that, I mean, what we've read from Munich and different Fly, Plymouth or whatever, FP, is, I mean, is Doncaster the operator? If so, does it have the experience required by CAA to reopen the airspace? Because there is, obviously Ross has said she wants flights going out of there by summer 26. It seems at this point, when you look at what Munich and FP are, their consultants, is what they're saying. So the operator would be Fly Doncaster. So have you vetted yourself in all this process? Because you've just told me how the question obviously was finding an operator. The operator is yourself. And these other people, Munich and FP, are consultants. So we indirectly are paying them for more information for you to operate. We know that CAA needs this information to reopen. It needs people that have the knowledge of how the airspace and everything works, because at the moment it's running unlicensed. So that means you can't bring anything in. And at this point in time, they are saying they are aiming to open for 2026. They're not saying it's going to be flights to Tenerife. So, I mean, there's a couple of things. I mean, obviously the question, do you have the experience? I can see that Christian's nodding, obviously knows what's needed by CAA. Are we going to get there? And can you give a guarantee that people are going to be flying to Tenerife in summer 2026?
It's a really good question, Steve. I think there's a number of points you've made there, so I'll take them. The first one is very much around the experience, and as you know, not only has Fly Plymouth and obviously MIA have got their technical expertise, we've also, throughout this project, employed our technical expertise as well. So we have a number of consultants, aviation consultants, who are managing directors for airports, who are supporting us in regards to that reintegration of the airspace. We have a meeting with the Civil Aviation Authority on the 14th of this month, so this Friday, specifically around our airspace. You'll have seen obviously the strategic lobbying, 130,000 individuals from Doncaster, from the region, businesses as well, signing that petition, and the power of that was extremely helpful in regards to our airspace change process. Look, we've said very clear from the outset that our airspace is being suspended, it's not being removed. There are a number of airports that are operating within the UK from an unlicensed activity point of view. If you take, for instance, our airport at the moment, on the 6th of December last year, to Excel, they had their first flight return back since it closed, and currently are operating a number of flights every week in regards to both takeoff as well as landing. So I think in answer to your question, we're extremely confident around the airspace being returned. Part of our argument on this Friday will be around the most expedient route of the CAA to be able to get that return. It's also dependent on a number of other factors, the financial envelope in regards to the capital infrastructure that's required around supporting that, but also, as you know, there's a real shortage nationally of air traffic controllers, and we also know that we're being inundated with ex-DSA staff, specifically around that particular area, who are very keen. So we are, in terms of very, very keen to get our airspace returned back to 24 hours for next year, and that's the argument we'll be using on Friday, but ultimately it's a CAA decision.
Thank you. I'll move on to the next question. Councillor Khan.
Thank you, Chair. Can you please tell us more about the benefit cost ratio of 9:1 and how certain are we that this will be achieved?
Thank you, Councillor Khan. I'll start on this and then Christian will chip in if there's any further points. As detailed in the report, it's the cost ratio has been generated from and as Debbie outlined, from the Green Book, and the appraisal of the projects that might require public sector investment, and has been undertaken by our experts, Jacobs, who have been commissioned to produce the business case. The project, as we know, has the potential to transform Doncaster's economy, and the BCR of 9 to 1, if you look at the deluxe categorisation, represents very high category, so that's excellent value for money, suggesting that for every £1 public sector generates £9 of benefits. Now that includes not just the airport, but it includes the wider benefits as well. So it's across the Gateway East. It's about the airport, and the FBC is based on the airport being a catalyst to generate wider jobs, wider GVA, etc. The costs are based on the financial plan, which, as Debbie outlined, has kind of been built up over throughout the project, really in terms of starting from the financial viability assessment, and then further informed through the procurement, and then incorporated based on and incorporated into the FBC. We are continuing to refine the estimates, and as it incorporates into the report, anything we can do to reduce the public sector investment will actually improve the BCR, etc. A BCR of projects are progressed on a BCR of 1 to 1, providing it delivers the outputs, provided it delivers the original scope. So a BCR of 9 to 1 is, as I said, very high. I think it will require considerable collaborative working to deliver. Whether we can say how certain we are it can be achieved, it's currently being assessed as part of the SIMCO process, so it's been submitted and we'll go through the external assurance process. I think the benefits, it needs everyone kind of working together to deliver them across, and which is where I think in terms of Christian and the working that we're doing in terms of what can be delivered, but a BCR of 1 to 1 is still, in terms of a project, in terms of deliverable. Christian.
Okay, I've seen Steve. Are you all right with that, Councillor Khan? Do you